It finally looks as though the Eagles offense has got its mojo back, and it's been a long road up until this point. Now, while the Redskins offense may not have been able to do anything much with Mark Sanchez at the helm, their defense is a very respectable unit and surrendered 28 first downs to the Eagles. So other than a new focus on the run game, what's changed in this Eagles offense, and why all of a sudden are they firing on all cylinders and celebrating like they were as if it was a Super Bowl campaign all over again? My name is Liam Jenkins, and this is an episode of Eagles Film Room. Just before we get started though guys, a huge thank you to all of the new subscribers. We would love to hit 5,000 by the end of the year. So if you've not joined the Philly Sports Network Nation just yet and you like what you're seeing, pound that subscribe button, leave a like and let us know you enjoy it, because we want to grow the biggest Eagles community on YouTube and we need your help to do it. There's certainly going to be a consistent theme throughout this video. That's rub routes and its motion and the impact of the playmakers when they're off the ball. In this play, for instance, what we're going to see is Zach Ertz actually run up and occupy the spacing of two linebackers, which allows Alshon Jeffrey to just run a regular spot route, sit underneath completely unaccounted for other than the weak side linebacker who defends his zone well, but it's Jeffrey who has the window, and that's an easy play for the Eagles. The Eagles love their rub concepts, and this is yet another example of one. We're going to see Golden Tate in the slot just push his cornerback into the path of Josh Norman, while Alshon Jeffrey down the bottom does what a #1 receiver does best, and that's gain separation from the line of scrimmage. So he sells the outside route, then almost swims over the top to throw Norman's weight away, and because Golden Tate has made that block and pushed his cornerback into the middle of the field, it opens up a huge window for Jeffrey, who can drive forward with another big completion. The mesh and wheel concept is another one the Eagles love, and here we see Nelson Aguilar just motioning across the line of scrimmage, and the fact that brings Greg Stroman with him tells Carson Wentz that this is likely a cover one scenario with man coverage on the outside with linebackers sitting in zone. So the man beater here is going to be Nelson Aguilar, because his man now has to go over the top of cover linebackers. Ertz gives one a push, which generates a nice window underneath. Aguilar slips through, and because Stroman has got so much ground to make up, there's just no way he's going to make it. Aguilar with the easy reception because of that concept. Here's another example of how the Eagles used motion to really exploit this defense. They send Josh Adams out in motion, and because it's man coverage, if no one picks him up, it is a huge mishap for the Redskins. So Swearingen's going to run down to pick up Adams because he has to, but because he does that, there is subsequently a huge window for Zach Ertz to make that reception and push the Eagles further down the field. I can't remember a time that the Eagles have ran this much pre-snap motion, but look at it against the run. Now Jordan Matthews pulls a man outside of the equation. The Eagles have an 8-man front now that Swearingen's had to drop down towards the line of scrimmage. The Eagles are going to use a pin and pull technique on the offensive line, meaning that both Jason Kelce and Brandon Brooks are going to switch. It gives the tight end a chance to get to the C gap. The running back is chasing the tail of Goddard, but because that linebacker hesitated, it opened a huge window for Adams to slink through. Much has been said of the Eagles wide receivers in yesteryear where they couldn't really block or get to the second level or help out the run game in any way, but Nelson Aguilar did a fantastic job on this play. Now that looks like a brick wall. Now once again it's man coverage, and Stroman has to come down because he's expecting Aguilar to come out, but because it's man, he's suddenly got to switch. It's a run play, it's one-on-one, Josh Adams versus safety, and Adams unlucky there not to get to the outside a little bit quicker. But here's yet another play where motion played a big factor. This is on play action. The Eagles are in 13 personnel, which means 1 running back, 3 tight ends, and this is what the addition of Richard Rodgers does. Josh Adams takes up 2 linebackers, you've got a receiver outside, it's cover 3, and as the secondary then begins to move around as a result, it leaves a wide open Zach Ertz for Carson Wentz to just sling a ball into. The Eagles almost dipped into that 2017 film and milked it dry. Rub routes were used all over the place. Here's an example of where Alshon Jeffrey just playfully lets Golden Tate get ahead to push the cornerback into the vision of Josh Norman, and look at the space it leaves Jeffrey. An easy, quick reception, check down for Carson Wentz, and that is again what #1 receivers do. Inside the red zone, Nelson Aguilar is going to push his man outside into the path of the corner, and that just allows Jordan Matthews to get a slight bit of leverage inside position position himself ready for a diving catch. That, of course, results in a touchdown. But let's talk about the run game again. And, oh, conveniently, there's some motion as well. But Josh Adams, well, we've already spoken about him plenty in Film Room episodes, but he is on a mission right now as a one-cut back to save this rushing attack. His ability to read and react to what's in front of him, and more importantly, get skinny, is very interesting between the tackles. The beauty of effectively running the ball, though, is that it, of course, opens up the play action, which in this scheme is vital. At this stage, every linebacker, every defender is looking into the backfield. This is when Carson Wentz on play action is at his most dangerous. He's got Zach Ertz matched up on Ryan Anderson, who just somehow lets him go. Ertz is wide open, a pitch and catch, and the Eagles deep inside enemy territory. I told you I love 13 personnel, but to do that, you need that third tight end, and Richard Rodgers with a huge block there on Preston Smith allows Josh Adams to get some ground. The Eagles have missed that. They used it all the time last year with Burton and Selleck. They've not been able to due to that injury. We're now seeing plenty of pins and pulls in running situations because of those tight ends. In fact, the run blocking overall was absolutely stellar. I mean, look at the crease that Josh Adams has on this play, and again, a lot of that from Dallas Goedert right on that outside, finishing his block on Preston Smith. But the man of the hour was obviously Jason Kelce on this Darren Sproles touchdown, who gets to the second level and drives his man all the way inside the 3-yard line. Look at this slowed down. The athleticism of Kelce to know that he's got that guard locked up, that block's fine. He then makes a crucial block on Mason Foster and drives into the end zone to help Darren Sproles get his first touchdown since December 2016. But back onto the receivers and how they help blocking in the run as well. This is a perfect example. We saw a little bit of motion there. Aguilar pushes his way inside and opens up that alley for Josh Adams. This whole team is so now predicated on run blocking. There's the motion, and watch Aguilar here on Swearinger. Just keeps it, sustains it, opens up the crease. That's what you want for a bowling ball running back. This is a team that struggled so much in run blocking before, but all of a sudden is really finding its stride, and it is opening up so many other parts of the offense. You guessed it, there's more motion on this play, but watch what the Eagles do with it. It's another cover one situation. You've got man coverage on the outside, Alshon Jeffrey going deep. And let's be honest, over the middle, there's going to be a weak point. But do you go for the receiver or do you go for Zach Ertz? Well, let's try just getting those two distracted. He's got a check down wide open there with Zach Ertz, but Wentz wants more. He rolls out and knows that Aguilar's got a step, and that's a big time completion. And that all comes from the motion outside. On this play here, the Eagles pull Aguilar and Tate, and look at the attention it brings. Everyone is focusing on those receivers. It gives Adams a one-cut opportunity to get outside and make some waves rumbling down the field. The Eagles are getting very tricky with their receivers now. We had to give Golden Tate a mention, even though we have been banging the door saying that we knew this was going to be a slow progression in terms of the trade, but Tate is finally being implemented into the offense as he should be in this system. He gets a nice step, it's off coverage, he knows he's going to break, and Wentz is already slinging it the minute Tate turns into his out route. We know there is going to be some yards after the catch because that is what this man does, but Golden Tate is now doing things that he's so renowned for that have almost been taken out of his game because he's been marginalized as this yak machine. He is such a good guy at being able to read situations. Now here he's going to come across the top of his cornerback. Now Wentz there is stuck in his first read. He rolls outside and Tate actually moves out of his route, adjusts and gets to the back of the end zone. Watch it again here. He spins away and he's flagging Carson Wentz down. He knows he's open. That's a touchdown. And Wentz himself, although a little bit inconsistent, was on fire at times as well. This was the very first play of the game. A tight window throw to Zach Ertz. In fact, it doesn't get much tighter. The anticipation, look at when that ball comes out. You have got 3 players over Zach Ertz and somehow that ball finds its way home. Overall, this Eagles offense is beginning to fire because now Tate is being implemented as a cog in that offense, not as a misfit and someone that just brings a different skill set. The reliance on the run is fantastic, but it's a benefit of everything else around it. Josh Adams is having a stellar time right now, but he wouldn't be doing so without an improved offensive line situation, some improved wide receiver blocking, and more importantly, some variation down the field. The play calls are getting trickier, the optionality is opening up, and this Eagles offense is heating up just in time for the playoffs. Again guys, if you are new to this video series, make sure you slam that like button. We'd love to get 500 likes before the Eagles go and smash the Cowboys on Sunday. So if you're new around here, hit the like button, hit subscribe. My Twitter is @LiamJenkins21. I'll see you next time.